So 99% Korean Canadian is from South Korea. So we say 1% from North Korea. But they do not close to even Korean Canadian community. So I may say they isolate.
Because many of them transited through South Korea and indeed actually received South Korean citizenship, once they then came to Canada and tried to set up a secondary home as refugees, the Canadian government caught on and started letting these refugees know that they cannot be successful in the refugee claims here. As international refugee law currently stands, refugees are required to make a claim, a refugee claim, at the first country that will accept a refugee claim from them.
A few years ago, when people, come to my church, I see, including children, around 50 refugee claimants come to my church. And these days, less than 10 people. So, majority people, they deported.
It's difficult. They want to stay hidden for whatever reason. Some of them fear being deported if they talk to the media. Others fear actually being outed and then being hunted down by North Korean spies. And so they stay in hiding. North Koreans are treated almost as if they're a different race. Yes, there are many of them they're all family. They used to be one country. That there are many people who are in South Korea that have family members over in North Korea. But as the generations get older and older, and as the divide between the two countries becomes bigger, people begin to view North Koreans as a nuisance, the country as a nuisance, and therefore, and the people who come from North Korea, they see them as possibly lazy. There's a lot of racism, a lot of discrimination.
It's not easy for North Korean refugee people to come to Canada directly. Who can provide airfare or anyway? It's not almost impossible. First of all, they seems like isolate because it's a language barriers. They do not speak English well, so they communicate each other, but in broader community they are isolated.
The first time we met these North Korean refugees is in a small room in one of a big building in downtown Toronto. There is one big table with a couple of chairs around it. And then we saw a blackboard, which then we realized that they use this room as a classroom. There, they study English. Not a formal academic English, but the everyday conversation English.
Main station.
There was one man in his late 60s or 70s, we believe, that was sitting on one of the chairs. We went in and sat next to him. Then he said, "I am from North Korea."
From my understanding, a lot of them seem to be between the ages of 20 and 50 years old, so they have kids and they have family. Some of them came here specifically because they have children and they thought Canada would be a better place for their children than South Korea.
They do not trust the people easily. So when they met the people for the first time, they do not tell their story. So once people getting closer and closer, then they slowly say their story. It's their experience, so they cannot trust anybody because sometimes they betray, sometimes they think, even broader in Korean Canadian community there are some spies, so there are many reasons they do not say.
It's not simple. They assume that A, everybody's the same, and they're not. Everybody has their own individual stories. B, everybody has different reasons for coming to Toronto. Everybody has similar but singular stories about how they defected.
Where am I now? 나는 지금이야. Where am I now?
Thank you.